this ever so slightly closer. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It's your good morning. Am I gravy? I feel like I'm too tired to do this. Welcome back to the channel. It's me, Ron, your local resident bug. Today we've got a Lianorn deck profile for you. Kind of a, you know, not as in-depth type of content as I wanted to do for the channel. I was kind of gonna start doing stuff with the Skyride manga or the Youthquake manga. Not really sure what I'm exactly gonna do with those, but I have some plans. And instead of doing that, excuse me. Hollow Knight Silk Song came out. I've been waiting for 6 years, and I know people have been waiting longer than me. But like, yeah, I've been waiting personally for 6 years since I played Hollow Knight the first time to have Silk Song. So I'm distracted, and I'm okay with that, because on this here channel that I post to, I just post kind of like the stuff that I enjoy in life, and so I'm never gonna tell myself that I'm forced to do anything. So today we're getting back into it with a less of a deep dive kind of thing, but still an interesting deep dive. So you want to play Lianorn? Merry Christmas, I've got you covered. Lianorn just got a new form of support as a main vanguard, and so she's got updates coming to that in that play style, and I'll probably do a video on building the new Lianorn deck and how that kind of functions, right? But for now, we don't have her, and so we're just going to go over how do you play Lianorn if you have the deck. How do you want to maybe, or how do I play Lianorn since I have the deck? How would I go about, replacing certain pricey cards and jazz like that? So without further ado, let's hop over to the deck profile. I'll see you there, I think. If I don't see you there, then you'll see me there. Alright, welcome over to the stockpile. So, as you can see, I've got a couple things going on here. So first and foremost, do not forget your energy generator. This right here is something I found on Etsy. It's a little energy generator case. It actually comes with a little box for where you can put your die, singular, because you don't have more than one. Neither do I. So no one's rich enough to have more than one dice. And that's just the truth of being human, right? If you have more than one dice, comment down below and I will be very jealous. But this is a cute little thing that I found. They have one for each nation. It's magnetic right here and right here, so you can just kind of boop, 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 boop. Yeah, it's really nice. So don't forget your energy generator, because you will be generating energy. And then let's get right to it. We're going to start here with the ride line for Lianorn. So this deck profile is one of these ones. You will be starting with the Rotowa ride line by Oroid Youth Rotowa. When rode upon, if you went second, draw a card. Then for the grade 1, Awakening from Slumber, Rotowa. Wow, he's awakening, just like me. When I wake up at 7 in the morning and then go, I was up till 2 a.m. Let's make a video. Hilarious. What a great idea. It is a great idea. I think I'm actually having fun right now. But when it's placed by riding on the grade 0, call up to 1 plant token to your back row center rearguard circle. So that's now time to flip these for you. Whoa, plant tokens! You're gonna need them. These guys are really silly. I think I really like them. However, when this guy came out, I got one, and so I'm not gonna not put it in my deck, because duh. And so now I've just kind of got like, oh, this is my back row center one, and these guys go elsewhere. It's kind of silly. I love it. I jive with it. but you'll need plant tokens because, excuse me, this Vanguard deck specifically wants to do that early aggression thing, because if it doesn't do the early aggression thing, it's turn 3, turn 4, maybe a little bit of a flop. So then lastly, we've got the grade 2. When placed on Vanguard Circle, retire a rear guard and call up to 2 plant tokens to rear guard circle. So if you're going against a deck that can retire your stuff, I don't know, like MLB, Major League Baseball. No, Majesty Lord Blaster, where he'll ride, what's it called? Or maybe Alfred too. I don't know if Alfred does that as well. Where or the Shadow Paladin ones. Oh wait, no. I don't think Alfred can. I don't know. I don't know enough about those decks, don't mind me. But if you're going against a deck that can retire your stuff early, instead of just having the one grade 0 behind your Vanguard, you may want to call a second one. So then we've got Grand March of Full Bloom Lianorn. I got the SP from the special deluxe set. It's beautiful. I had a friend who was at the convention where they were selling those, and I was like, dude, listen, however much money it is, I'll send you that money. Please just get it for me. I'll cover shipping and everything. Please, I want it. And so then I didn't get swindled by scalpers. Fuck you, scalpers. So, getting into Lianorn, what does she do? So she's got a couple abilities, just 2 of them. But first, act Vanguard Circle once per turn, counterblast 1, draw a card, choose a card from your hand, call it to Rearguard Circle, or discard it. And then auto Vanguard Circle when this unit attacks. Soul Blast 1, discard a card from your hand, and boost this unit with all of your back row standing units that have boost. If you boosted this unit with 3 or more units, this unit gets drive +1 until end of the battle, and then at the end of the battle, choose 2 of your back row rear guards and stand them. So, nothing too crazy. No multi-attack on this Vanguard. It's kind of a very different type of Vanguard. What does it mean? Well, so she's got a band kid aesthetic, right? Or a band leader aesthetic, where she's like, follow me into band toll. That's a horrible pun. And so then your back row will boost her, and then these ones will get to go again to help boost the music of these 2 rear guards, I guess. It's cute. I really love the concept of making a deck play differently just because of the aesthetic and the character who plays it, the Urara. She is adorable, and I love her character arc, and I hope that nothing bad ever happens to her again, because I feel bad every time it happens. Then moving along to the rest of our grade 3s. So I am running a bit of a different Lianorn deck. I am running 3 more copies of Persona Ride. Yes, I do actually enjoy being on this grade 3 Vanguard. But getting the triple drive, as well as the Persona Ride, making a giant Vanguard swing plus 2 pretty big rear guards is kind of a pretty solid thing. It helps stabilize in certain matchups. I did try playing Lianorn Masks in this deck before instead of more copies of Persona Ride. I didn't personally enjoy it. It's not for me. It may be for you. It just kind of like helps if you're going second mostly. But in the end, the goal is to still end on... Man, I should have read her first because... Or not first, but like I should have read her before, like her full card name before doing this, because now I'm going to look like an idiot while I do this. Marche Fleur, Lianorn Vivace. I know that's not how it's pronounced. It's probably like Marche Fleur, Lianorn Vivace. Really good card. This card is really good. This is the card that gave Lianorn a reason to potentially win the World Championships the year that it came out. It's a really, really strong card, and we'll get into it. So it's got a unique ability, Unition Dress. Auto, when this unit is placed by riding from a unit in the Unition Dress state or a unit with Lianorn in its different card name from this unit, draw a card. Then this unit is in the Unition Dress state until the end of the fight. Interesting. So, realistically, looking at this card, you could ride this in your ride deck and then just continue to go forward because she'll be in the Unison dress once you start persona riding. However, this card is straight booty cheeks if you don't, because the second ability, when this unit in the Unison dress state attacks, you kind of have to. So, Vanguard Circle once per turn. When this unit in the Unison dress state attacks while not boosted, stand all of your rear guards and boost this unit with them. It doesn't even really care if it doesn't have boost or not, just by the way. If you boosted with 3 or more units at the end of the battle, Counterblast 1, choose 3 of your units, stand them, and they get plus 5k, drive -1 until end of turn. Rear guards without boost can boost too. So, that's crazy, right? You get Vanguard multi-attack, but you have to ride it on top of a different Lianorn. So the reason I like to run this Lianorn is because you can stabilize and triple drive and persona ride until you see this Lianorn kind of sit as a tank that did some early damage with your early aggression with the Rotoa ride line as well as the other stuff in the deck. We'll get there, trust. And then you can hop over to Vivace and have this big kill turn. And if you don't kill on that big kill turn, there's a high chance that you saw a second copy of Vivace, and you should kill by then. I'm only running 3 copies because I don't want to see it too much, but I don't want to see it no much. Ever think about that? Me neither. So then, getting into the last grade 3, we have Bracing Angel Ladder, and yes, this card is just kind of a big Stoicheia staple. If they don't self-retire, they want this card because, yikes. Bavsagra is still a pretty big issue. So, what does it do? I'll read it yet again. It's a Regalis piece. Draw a card, put this card to your soul. Till the end of your opponent's next turn, you, the player, get, during your turn, all of your vanguards get power plus 5k, and all your rear guards cannot be chosen and cannot be put other than onto your rear guard circle by your opponent's card effects. So, just kind of a no, don't do that to me type of card that tells Bavsagra to go suck a lemon. So, good card. Getting into the grade 2s, we're going to start here with Luster Impact Dragon. This card is also pretty dang good. It was a lot better when it first came out, which made it a lot pricier. However, there have been reprintings as well as other stuff. Last I checked, it was a pretty decently cheap card, so I would hope that there's only like 1 or 2 cards that are expensive in here, and I apologize, but that's just kind of what happens in Vanguard. Once the game once your deck has been around for a little while, if it's ever been meta, there's going to be some pricey cards in it, and I apologize. But he's got 2 abilities: Continuous Rearguard Circle during your turn. If your back row has 2 or more grade 1 or less rearguards, this unit gets boost and power plus 5k. That power plus 5k is pretty important because you can put it in your front row, swing with it, and it'll have the plus 5k, making it a 15k minimum booster. Or attacker, excuse me. Then auto, once per turn, when this unit stands by the ability of your Vanguard with Granfia or Lianorn in its card name, if your Vanguard's power is 33k or greater, Soul Blast 1, draw a card, and this unit gets power plus 5k until the end of turn. Cool. So, yeah, that kind of goes into the boosting mechanic. When you boost your Vanguard with X amount of rear guards, or if you have Persona Road, you should be hitting that 33k. What gravy. Yawning boy. You should be hitting that 33k to live your best life. So then, getting into the next grade 2. This is a grade 2 that I'm running instead of a super pricey grade 2 right now. I think it's like $15, and it supports Magnolia and Lianorn. It's dumb, I know. Like, I didn't want to spend the money on it because the card itself didn't seem like actually worth that much money. And that kind of sounds silly, but it's because a card like this exists. And why would I spend my money on a big pricey card when there's a big cheap card that does almost the same thing, if not something different that I want the deck to do? So why bother? Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So it's got 2 abilities. Auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, choose a grade 3 card with Lianorn in its card name from your ride deck. You may reveal it. If you reveal the card, or you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Lianorn in its card name, counterblast 1, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card with Lianorn from the card in its card name from among them. Reveal it, put it to your hand, and shuffle the deck. If you didn't put a card into your hand, draw a card. Solid. On place, counterblast 1, draw a card, or add a Lianorn to your hand. Not bad, right? Then, continuous rearguard circle or guardian circle. If your back row is 2 or more grade 1 or less rear guards, this unit gets boost. Power plus 5k and shield plus 5k. Good stuff. So it also is a 15k attacker booster. It just has to have the 2 or more grade 1 or less rear guards in the back row with it. So if you're boosting with it, make sure it's grade 1 or grade 0 in the back row, so that way you actually get to boost. So then lastly, I'm running that's hard to read. Mutual Feelings Maiden Pence. Mike Pence. Awful. What an amazing card. These ace unit cards have been honestly really enjoyable to me, so I like them all. You may only have 1 copy of this card. And then the unique skill, auto, when this unit is placed on rearguard circle, other than during the battle phase, this unit gets power plus 5k. 1. Then, Energy Blast 3, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, discard it, shuffle the deck. Choose up to 1 card with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from drop zone, call it to rearguard circle. You may only use unique skills a total of 1 time per fight among all of your cards. So it's not an insane ability. It's just a pretty good ability to help you build the board. It costs an energy. It gains 5k. And then, second ability, when this unit attacks, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, until the end of that battle, this unit gets power plus 5k. 2. And if your drop has 10 or more cards, it also gets power plus 5k. 3. So it's a 25k beater on the first turn that it's placed, on the second turn and concurrent turns, because it doesn't have shield. It has intercept, so you can intercept with it, but it doesn't have a shield value, because that's part of the whole ace unit mechanic. So you can keep it on board as a 20k attacker. It's pretty solid. I don't dislike it as that, so it's a great card for building your field back after Bhav Sagra totally ruined your day. It's also a great card for just, having. So getting into the grade 1s, we're going to start with one of the big prices of the deck, Rosarium Fairy. This card is insane, and I apologize because this card really, really helps make the deck, and I unfortunately can promise that. So it's got 2 abilities. When this unit is placed on rearguard circle, retire another rearguard, call up to 2 planet tokens to rearguard circle. Field building. Crazy field building. Because it's like, I don't know, let's say it's turn 1, right? You rode your grade 1, you got your 1 token. You can then call this here, retire this token, and call another token here. Or you can call it here, retire this token, call 2 tokens here. Swing 8k, swing 8k, swing 10k on your turn 1. Crazy. Then second ability, when this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Granfia or Lianorn in its card name, and your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, choose one of your other back row rearguards and increase this unit's attack by that unit's attack until the end of battle. If you combine this with Luster Impact Dragon, and you stand him for the Vanguard's ability, Soul Blast 1, draw a card plus 5k, let's say it's turn 3. You then swing, this is a 20k, 8k, 28, copy his power, 48. suddenly you're hitting those ridiculous numbers that you expect from a deck that's going to swing for big numbers. So this card is a staple, and I really hope they do a reprinting of it soon because yikes, it's pricey. But that's one of the main pricey cards where if you're going to focus on getting anything for this deck, make sure you focus on Rosarium Fairy. It's just that good. So then, Rhythm of Joy, Elentus. During your turn, if you have a Vanguard with Lianorn in its card name, power plus 2k. If your Vanguard is in the Unition Dress state, plus 5k instead of 2k. So it's a 10k grade 1 or a 13k grade 1, depending on, what your Vanguard's doing. And same thing over here. Let's pretend it's a 10k grade 1. That makes it 18 and then turns it into a 28. That ability is just ridiculous. What do you lose out on it for? Having this, you lose out on having an Interceptor. 5k shield. Second ability, auto rearguard circle at the end of your turn. If your Vanguard was boosted a total of 3 or more times, cost, retire this unit, draw a card. If your damage zone has no face-up cards, countercharge 1. So the second ability isn't restricted to Vivace, so therefore I find myself calling these as frequently as possible in the early game to ensure that once I'm on my just regular Lianorn, I'll be able to start drawing hella cards. Maybe I can board wipe myself, make Bob Sagra do less work, and then lose the game faster, right? Exactly. So then we've got 2 copies of... I've never read this card's name before. Elusive Winged Dragon Fiarma or something. It's got 2 abilities, one placed on Rearguard Circle. If your Vanguard's grade is less than or equal to your opponent's Vanguard's grade, discard up to 1 card from the top of your deck, and this unit gets plus 2k until end of turn. So crazy thing, the discarding a card is not a cost, so you don't have to do that to get the power plus 2k. You can just call it, not discard 1, and get plus 2k. If that was the only ability, we wouldn't be running this card, though, because there's other better grade 1s. Second ability, Rearguard Circle Drop Zone. When your other card is discarded from your hand during your turn, Energy Blast 3, remove this card from the game, and choose one of the discarded cards to put back to your hand. So, obviously, we have a discard a card option for a Vanguard to gain triple drive, and so that becomes not so much of a cost if you are Soul Blast 1, Energy Blast 3, remove this card from your drop zone, add that card back to your hand. You're just kind of doing a little revealing trick to your opponent. So then, for the last 2 sets of grade 2s, we've got Mythiarch Habitat. This card is really freaking good. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 unit card with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard, call it to Rearguard Circle, shuffle the deck. Continuous deck, when you would search or choose a unit card from your deck, you may search or choose this card. And then, when this card would be called from deck to Rearguard Circle, put it to your hand instead of your drop zone. So you can, if you don't see anything you want, if you see 6 triggers and 1 copy of Mythiarch, you can just add this to your hand so that way you're deck thinning slightly. So your next turn will look slightly better as well. So then we've got Planar Prevent Dragon as our PG of choice, although of course you should totally be running a certain something else. Elementaria. So then for triggers, we're going to blast these out. 4 heal, 4 crit, 3 more crit, but they're cool. 4 fronts because I just like having fronts, and less favor. Wow! So that all being said, that's the deck profile. We're going to go ahead and hop over to a little display of what the deck can do, what it wants to do, and how, kind of like the mindset of the gameplay. So give me just a minute, get that set up, and we'll be right back. Perfect. So now we've gotten set up. We've gone to post mulligan. We've got our first hand, decently promising. We've already got a Lianorn for... We're going to go first, by the way, in this situation, just to make it that much easier on my brain. We've got our Lianorn for Persona Riding. We've got some deck thinning. We've got a good card for searching. All that good stuff. So we're going to draw for turn. See a pretty good card. So I'm thinking, in this situation, we're not going to want you for too much longer. just because we've already got another Lianorn to help us continue out the game, so we're going to ditch him. I guess it'd probably be best to set him over there. Ride the grade 1 Rotowa, call a grade 0 plant token off of him, pass turn to our opponent. And so then they'll swing, we'll just take it, say they didn't hit a trigger. We hit a trigger, so that denies any other attacks that they would have typically. Not saying it will, but you know, just typically. Then we stand, draw, energy charge 3. And we're looking at a solid hand, right? So we're seeing a lot of this card, which is good because we want to have it turn 3. Seeing this card, which is good because we could just have these 3 in our back row for turn 3 to draw a ton of cards. So I think I'm actually going to get rid of Mythiarch Habitat. And that doesn't happen too super often, but, you know, sometimes it do. So I'm going to go ahead and retire this one for the grade 2, and then call 2 plant tokens off of it, like so. And then we're going to call to really push early. And yes, this does get boost, like I said, without having, excuse me, the, what's it called? Without having a grade 3 Vanguard. So then we can swing for 18k. Boom, heal trigger. That's a good thing. We'll heal 1. Crazy. We'll swing for 13. And then most likely they hit a trigger or something. But if not, we can go ahead and swing. And it will have that plus 5k for 15-20. Good stuff. So we hit over a trigger for that second one. But our hand's looking mighty thin. And, you know, we're kind of just like in a situation where we have to take damage. So for the next turn, we're going to say they're going to swing twice. They'll get a crit on their Vanguard, and we'll just take everything unless there's triggers off of this first. Cool, no triggers off of the first, so then we take another damage. Probably could have been able to guard something with, you know, what we have in hand. Actually, you know what? It's a grade 2 turn. I'll just put this back. I probably would have been able to guard like so. Just because it's a grade 2 turn, you know, numbers haven't gotten too crazy yet. So then we'll go ahead, we'll stand. This setup that I have is wonky. Draw, and we'll see the good card. We Energy Blast 3, and then discard Fiarma. To ride Lianorn. So then Lianorn's first ability is to counterblast 1, draw a card, and then call a card or discard a card. However, in this situation, what would you want to discard? What would you want to call? So you're banking on seeing something off the top of your deck to be able to call. I personally am not going to bother doing it. However, sometimes you may personally feel that it's important to do so. That being said, we're going to go ahead and swing in using Lianorn's skill to Soul Blast 1, discard a card, and boost with the back row. We're going to ditch this card, but then use Fiarma to remove itself from game. Energy Blast 3, and add this copy of Lianorn back to my hand. So I'm not going to actually discard it. So we're looking at 13, 23, 33, 43, 48, triple drive. On turn 3, your opponent's a grade 2. Check 1, check 2, heal trigger. We had an aggressive turn 2. I'm going to pretend I don't heal. We'll put the power over here because this column will need it. And then check 3. Nothing too insane. And then these two stand. So then we'll swing. Oh wait, hold on. Nope. This guy stood. So then we can Soul Blast 1, plus 5k, and draw an additional card. So then this would be 25, 10, 15, 25, so they're both 25. They both hit over 1 trigger, so here's 25, here's 25 again, and then end of turn, retire, draw, end of turn, retire, draw. So then you're sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in hand, 2 of which are Lianorns, and I did see a Vivace, so I will think that in this specific situation, I'll just go ahead and show, you know, what a Vivace turn will look like as well. So we're going to take some damage. Let's just take 2 damage and then drop some heavy guards. We're going to guard, we're going to guard, we're going to guard, and then we'll guard like that. And then maybe we'll take 1 more just to be like, oh man, I'm being pushed to the edge. Crazy. Then we're going to go ahead and stand. Draw. Whoops, I forgot to stand you. Energy charge 3. And looking at our hand, we see Vivace. We're going to ride Vivace. She's not going to be in Persona Ride because she hasn't ridden on top of herself. However, she is going to immediately go into Unation Dress state, which means you get to draw a card. Trigger. Nice. Trigger, I hardly know her. Hilarious joke. I'm going to go ahead and play Mythiarch Habitat to check the top 7. We're looking for Rosarium Fairy specifically right now because that card is important on the Vivace turns. So if you see anything other than Rosarium Fairy, or if you don't see Rosarium Fairy, you just kind of cry a little bit about it. This is awful, so you're going to go ahead and just grab this. Would have been nice to get Rosarium Fairy. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I shook you. My bad. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do, right? And so what I'll probably do... Actually, wait, there was another Mythiarch in there, wasn't there? Oh well, I don't care. I've already made my choice. It's okay. We're gonna call that there, and then we're gonna look at what I've got, and I'm like, man, sure would have been nice to have that. Because then I am just gonna go ahead and call over. Well, no, I would call this here, swap these, and maybe for his skill, I would counterblast 1, check top 7 to look for another Lianorn. I didn't see a Lianorn because it doesn't force you to, you know, it just says choose up to 1, put it to hand. I'm going to check again for a draw to potentially see that Rosarium Fairy. We're going to draw. Nope. Oh, well, cool. I've already used an order this turn, so I can't do that. But, you know, it is what it is. So you're in a pretty unfortunate situation. If you had Rosarium Fairy, it would obviously be better. That's part of why, you know, sitting on the grade, or the other Lianorn is pretty good. But I'll just go ahead and show you what this turn would look like. So you're going to go ahead and swing. 18k. Swing. This is 15... 20k, and then swing unboosted with your Vanguard. Use her ability to stand everything, literally everything, and boost, doesn't matter if it has boost or not. So we're going to go 13, 23, 33, 38, 43, 53, 66. So this is 66k twin drive. Check 1, check 2. Dry. This deck is not happy with me today. Oh well. And then counterblast 1, stand 3, and they all gain plus 5k. Because my Vanguard was over that threshold, I will Soul Blast 1, draw a card, and gain plus 5k here. So then we'll swing. This is now 18k. Check 1. Do the bless favor things. Draw 2. Oh, there's a Rosarium Fairy. Heal. Critical million or power million. Front. Ruin someone's day. You know how it is. The good stuff. We're gonna pretend we didn't hit it though. We'll just say we hit nothing. So then this would be another 18, and this would be another 20. Or if we hit a front, it would have been 28 and 30. But then, you know, you're looking at the end of your turn, and obviously we wouldn't have hit this. So we would have hit one of them to have as a trigger in our hand. So we're sitting kind of pretty. We've got a pretty decent setup for next turn. Obviously, we don't have another Vivace to ride into, so we won't hit a Persona ride off of next turn. But all in all, it's a pretty strong deck. I think that, you know, with the new support that the deck is getting it gets a lot better. So don't fret not, Lianorn players, all 300 of you. It's a pretty popular Stoicheia deck. You know, the support that the deck gets is pretty ridiculous, and it will push the deck back towards meta. I don't know if it'll make it meta, but it will push it back towards being meta. Will it make it meta? I think I could see a world where it could be. It's got a multi-attacking Vanguard. It actually gives power, and you no longer use this Lianorn. So if you wanted to bling out your Lianorn deck, you know, maybe focus on things other than this. There's a high likelihood that you will bling out, or not bling out, but like still run, not high likelihood, there's a guarantee that you'll still run your Rosarium Fairies, and a high likelihood that you'll run Vivace. So if you are interested in the deck and you wanted to bling it out, those are kind of like my main recommendations for bling. You can also bling out the ride line. However, there's a new ride line, so I don't know how you'd feel about that either. I don't know if we're going to run the new ride line because the Roto-Roto ride line provides so much early on, but there's a chance. So anyways, Lianorn is a very fun deck, and when it came out, it had no believers. It had a rear guard that allowed it to get some multi-attack, and you would just sit on this Vanguard and hope that you do something with your triple drive. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how far this deck has come. And also, in a Vivace deck, you could be running that card. Actually, let's go over that real quick. There's a couple cards you could be running. Why are we not running them? Super important to just quickly go over them, right? That way I don't take up more of your time. Boom. Resonance Dragon. I feel that getting 6, 7, 8 attack, I don't know how many attacks it gets you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 attacks. I don't think it's worth it to get the 7 attacks, but however, since I am running one that, like a build that's focused more on the regular Lianorn, maybe you could see yourself running this card. It's pretty solid. Mushrooms, I don't have a soul issue, so I don't use it. I don't have a big field issue yet either. Lianorn Masks, I just didn't like the way that it works in the deck. And then popping back here for a minute, Harvest Elf. I don't feel that retiring your own field at the end of the battle that you boosted is worth it. Because once you're on Vivace, you're going to be restanding your front row rear guards, not just your back row rear guards. So those are some of the more kind of like common Stoicheia cards that maybe you might want to consider running, and maybe you could. It depends on your own preferences. As always, I think it's worth it to, if you like the deck, look into it for yourself, see how you feel about it, and if you enjoy it, let me know what your thoughts are on the deck build. You know, like, let me know what you would do to change it if you wanted it to be different. With the new Lianorn coming up, obviously this whole deck profile will be obsolete in a couple months, but you know, it's fun to have conversations about these things. So thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. There's one.